Harekrishna. So welcome to Nectar of Instruction. So we are now on text number 8. Repeat after me. Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrutyo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya Tishtan Vrajetad Anuragi Jananugami Kalam Nayed Akhilam Iti Upadeshasaram Tannama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Smrutyo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya Tishtan Vrajetad Anuragi Jananugami Kalam Nayed Akhilam Iti Upadeshasaram Can someone repeat? Annama Rupa Charitadi Sukirtananu Mrityo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya Tishtan Vrajetad Anuragi Jananugami Kalam Nayed Akhilam Iti Upadeshasaram. So this verse says that the essence of all advice, Upadesha Saram. Upadesha means instruction and Saram means the essence, is that one should utilize one's full time. Kalam Nayed Akhilam. Akhilam means full. In what? That means 24 hours a day in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes. Nama Rupa Guna Lila Adi. I already told you previously we used to have the deck, 9 CDs at a time you can put, and at any time you can, with the remote, select any CD. If you are playing rock, then Kishore Kumar. And similarly, we have 9 process of devotional service. What are they? Shravana. All these are CDs. So 24 hours a day you cannot chant, or you cannot hear. You cannot, so you change the CDs. But 24 hours a day, 9 CDs should be played of this 9 process of devotional CDs. Thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind, because we have seen that all the senses are giving so many unlimited impressions on mind, in mind basically. And in that we have tongue, which is so sort of prominent in sense that we eat, regular at 3 times maybe, or maybe 5 times, fine. But we cannot stop talking for even a second. The tongue, it vibrates all the time. So it has to be controlled. So it can be only controlled when we chant, we use our tongue in Krishna's glorification. We have already seen that. Otherwise, having a meditation or these are not the basic mauna, or these are not the way we can permanently or satisfactorily control the mind. Mind will revolt. So this is very important, that engage it in service. So we have nothing to give it up. You just have to change the subject. So what will happen in this way? One should reside in Vraj. So for that, now we'll see how the things happen. For just like if you want to become an IAS officer, suppose, so what we have to do? You have to study your subjects very thoroughly. But more prominently, you will have a better chances when you will have an association of all people who are studying for IAS, right? And on the top of that, you have experts who are guiding you on that. So the atmosphere is there, surcharged with study, and top of that, you have an expert guidance. Similarly, to progress in devotional service, to have a taste in Krishna's holy name, pastime, etc., we need to have a proper place where everybody is doing the same thing. And that place is Vrindavan. Always surcharged with full memories of Krishna. You know, you cannot stay in Vrindavan and you miss the name of Krishna or Radharani. You know, isn't it? And on the top of that, we get so much inspiration by the expert sadhus there, devotees. They always speak about Krishna. So that's why here Rupa Goswami says, now we are turning ourselves from ये कुछ कर रहा है कि नहीं मोड देखो उसका नहीं पावर मत करो हाँ नॉर्मल में रखो वो हो जाएगा हाँ बस पावर में नहीं होगा सो वेयर वाज आई वृंदावन में सो हाँ So Rupa Goswami now is saying, so till first 2 7 words we saw that how to do sadhana bhakti, what are the obstacles, how to deal with the people, those who are doing bhakti, you know, what should be our proper attitude, what should be avoided, what should be taken very seriously, so on and so forth. Now, one stage comes when we are into bhakti. I mean, we have given up sufficiently, anartha nivritti has happened, and now we have fixed our goal is this. Now, there is no thought in the mind that, oh, I have left something. Then, person come to the, I mean, Raganuga Bhakti, in the sense, on the process of Raganuga Bhakti. That Nishtha is there. Once Nishtha is established, then that means his goal is fixed. Now he has to march forward to Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem. For that, we have to be under the guidance of a Raganuga Bhakti, who resides in Braja. So practically, of course, not everybody can go to Vrindavan and stay, but what it means that whoever is in that mode, in that mood, who is in the Vrajavasi mood, take his shelter. That is Tishtan Vraja. So even if you are living in Mumbai, still, if you are following on the footsteps of Vrajavasi, then you are in Mathura, in Vrindavan, right? So that, and then what we have to do, serve Krishna under the guidance of that devotee. That is Guru Maharaj. So staying in Vrindavan is not like a staying in some resort, you know. Why we go to Vrindavan? To serve, to serve. Not we cannot serve Radha Krishna directly. To serve the devotees. Serve Radha Krishna by chanting their names, you know, by hearing and glorifying their activities, like that. So if you do that, then one should follow in the footsteps of Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attached to his devotional service. So now, well, in later we'll see that as we go, as we have sufficient anartha nivritti, we understand basically that what are the pastimes of Lord which attracts me, isn't it? One AC is not working, another AC is. Anyway.
Today is the opposite.
Right. So this is the essence of all advice is what we have to reside in Vraja 24 hours a day. We have to chant Krishna's holy name, pastimes, etc. under the guidance of a Vrajavasi. Who is Vrajavasi? One who always is in Raganuga Bhakti. In the sense, he is always serving Krishna. He is always into this 9 process of devotional service. One should aspire to be his servant. Now we'll see how Prabhupada takes us to this stage. Prabhupada writes that, in human form of life, first time we understand that, oh, actually, this is not the place where I should be. In other species of life, 84 lakh species of life, we never think about anything superior than sense enjoyment, isn't it? But only human form of life we see, however hard we try, we don't get that sufficient happiness. So then we go for Athato Brahma Jigyasa. What is absolute truth? But till the time we have so many impressions in the mind, every day with all the senses we gather the impressions, positive, negative. And in night time we see that sometimes what happens, few incidents happen, and then our mind combines that and makes a picture, and we see in a dream that Prabhupada said many times that we see gold and then we see a mountain, and in dream we see golden mountain, but there is no golden mountain. But mind makes it combines. If you see some tiger or something else, then you see, oh, tiger is chasing you, like that. So this is going on and on and on. Similarly, the Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, as we progress towards death, there is Tatha Dehantara practice, means Dehino Asmin Yatha Dehe, Kaumaram Yavanam Jara. When we become the youth, then become old, and then he dies. But the soul transmigrates to another body. Tatha Dehantara practice Dhiras Tatrana means he has to get another body. But in between, what happens? We see that when the body is burned, what is left? What else is left?
Soul.
What else with soul? Something else.
Mind.
That is subtle body. Subtle body consists of 3 elements. What is that? Intelligence.
Mind, intelligence, falsity.
It falls. These three things remains with the soul. Gross body is burned. So this subtle body is guided by what? Mind, who has so many impressions. So he, even before death, he actually prepares his next body. In Bhagavatam, there is a example is given. Now in rainy season is going on. Now we see after 1 month, so many plants will have a new leaves. All we aata. Then with that, what will come? Worms will come. Those worms which they eat the leaves, green leaves. Okay? So when Bhagavatam observes that, Bhagavatam says that even these insects, when they transfer themselves from one leaf to another leaf, have you seen them? They have many legs. So first they make sure that their grip on the next leaf is very firm. Then only they leave their previous leaves. Are you getting me? They transfer from one leaf, abhi hoga idhar ka not. But they make sure, otherwise they will fall down. Similarly, the soul, entire life, by his choices and karma, he already makes his next body firm. Booking ho jata hai. Then he leaves. If you buy a flat then even before getting possession, do you vacate your previous flat? होता है क्या कभी? No, you decorate first that flat entirely, then you leave that first flat. So this flat, when he sees now, there is no way I can enjoy in this flat and this body. So he plans for next body. So that is why we have to have it is very essential to train the mind what type of flat we should book. If we don't train, then we say, oh, thoda I mean, एकदम very wealthy family, good looking body, strong body. With this kind of people are also there. They pray for this body, but we know that again we have to come back. Of course, for that body also they have to work. But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, there are only two ways, two laws in this world. What is that? He says, Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshaya. What is that? He says, if you practice whole life, 24 hours a day under the guidance of spiritual master, chanting my holy name past and entirely remembering me only, and at the time of death, Antakalecha, Mameva Smarana. If you remember me, Smaran Muktva Kalevaram. Muktva means give up, Kala means Kalevaram means body. Then he says, you will attend me. There is no doubt. There is only one law. To come to me, you have to remember me. So is it possible for everybody to do that?
Practice is required.
Yeah, but I mean, practically, at the time of death, how many people can remember Krishna? So there must be some other law where again, if one is not A, plan A doesn't work, then plan B should be there. So what is plan B? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajyati ante kalevaram. That means if there is no Krishna, remember, there must be something in your mind other than Krishna. Then whatever it is, yam yam vapi, whatever you remember, tam tameva eva kaunteya. That form you will achieve. Example, any example? Bhagavatam. Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj is so much absorbed in deer. Oh my son, where he must be. And he died and became deer. Because no Krishna. Bhava stage. Sufficient, I mean, most of the unearthly nivritti has happened. But attachment, that ego is attached to what? I am the protector of the deer. He has left his own children, wife. He didn't protect them, but he wants to protect now this baby deer. That is false ego. Kartaham iti manyate. Who can protect this? I have to protect. So, yam yam vapi, he has to become deer. So, wife thinks about husband, male. Male thinks about wife, women. This is all going on. Of course, second thing is karma. Karma fact. So, whether to get male or female body, that depends on the thought process, I mean, decision. But which body, which male body, which female body, that depends on karma. Isn't it? A human or a bird or animal, so and so. So that is why we need to train the mind 24 hours of the day, because mind is like a friend. And exactly if we don't train your mind, he is like a biggest enemy in the guise of a friend. Have you seen some friend who shows that, oh, I'm your best friend, but he ditches you like anything? वो bankrupt करके छोड़ेगा. That is our mind. So Prabhupada tells two examples. That a snake charmer, however long time he may have stayed with that snake, he keeps eye on him. छोड़ता नहीं उसको. Because anytime he can bite him. Similarly, the wild animals, you cannot trust them. Similarly, the mind is compared to wild animal or a snake, cobra. You have to have a grip on it, and it should be in your control. So that's why if we keep, suppose, snake in the area where there are so many, so much of our, what you call, frogs or mice, what will happen? He will have so much of poison, isn't it? Or you can say give him milk and banana every day. He will have a stock of poison, isn't it? But if you keep him in a place where he will not have these kind of things, what will happen? He will not have any kind of poison, isn't it? So if we feed our mind with all types of poisons by living in a place where such poisons are everywhere, then it is very risky to have a proper thought. But Prabhupada says we are a preaching movement. So we have to stay at a place where there is a maximum kind of Maya is there, isn't it? But we have to have an attitude. So there is a two kind of bhakti we should do. External bhakti and internal bhakti. Bhakti is of two types. Externally, we chant, we actually serve Vaishnavas physically. And internally, our mind is always in Vrindavan. Mind, you may be in the biggest metropolitan city, but your attitude is like a beggar in Vrindavan. Detached completely. That is internal bhakti. Example is our Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He was such a royal person. He used to wear silk and perfumes and lavish palace. So someone would see, "Arey, ye to pura ayash." I mean, externally, if you see, pan and so much, and all luxuries. But just seeing the peacock fan, he would go mad. Or just hearing Krishna's pastimes. So that internally he is somewhere else. So that is external and internal bhakti. Both should be both simultaneously. One cannot say, "Oh, I am internally in bhakti," and know that should, because mind is a very tricky. Mind will make you fool number one if you don't train him. So we need to have a guidance from experts. Like that. Then, when we do that, then what will happen? Slowly. First, what happens? We have to hear Krishna Katha. We say, "अरे प्रभु जी 15 मिनट मेरा ये 15 मिनट के बाद मेरा सब बाउंसर जाता है कि नहीं? 15 मिनट लग जाता है." That is our first Shravana Dasha. What is that? Shravana Dasha means hearing Krishna Katha, where we sometimes feel, "Oh, it's a burden," or maybe Guru and scripture. Guru ne bola isliye sun raha hu scripture. But we keep hearing. Okay. But constantly hearing transcendental holy name and past tense, what will happen? We start accepting that, "Oh, yeah, actually this is for my welfare. And actually it is giving me nourishment." First time, just like today in Bhagavatam, he gave a nice example. That when the child is there, he always wants, baby is there. If you ask him what you want, he will say sweetie only. Chocolate and stuff. But even if he doesn't like, uska mother क्या देता है उसको? The vegetable soup. थोड़ा तो पहले पियो. अच्छा है ऐसा कर. Whatever it may. This is how a trick we have to play. By constantly giving, he likes it then. Baby. Understand? Similarly, by constantly hearing, what happens actually? Krishna, Pravishta Karana Randhrena, he enters through ear, and enters through our ear in our heart, through ear in our heart, and cleanses our heart of all material desires. Swana bhava saroruham. It automatically Krishna works. We just have to do constantly sit there. That's why many Bhagavad Kathakar says, अरे आके सो जाओ, कोई problem नहीं. Your subtle body is hearing, gross body is sleeping. That is also purified. Slowly you will get the taste, acceptance of hearing. Varana dasha. That means yes, it clicked me, or it is giving me nourishment. Then we will say, अरे ये तो मैं सुना है, मैं सुना है ना. So many times we say, I know this. That is next stage, स्मरण अवस्था. One clue दिया, बोलो भरत महाराज, so we'll give you entire story. So when one attains this stage, he becomes attached to hearing Krishna Katha, and he becomes ecstatic. Chanting holy name. Just imagine this, guys, everybody, like in the US also. Every day they go for 4 or 5 hours Harinam Kirtan. Harinam में taste के सिवा नहीं जा सकते, isn't it? Somebody can read for hours together, Bhagavatam, unless he has taste, Smarana Avastha. He wants to remember. So that ecstasy when comes, the time limit doesn't matter. Few people, one of my friend was there, he can be with the electronic items for whole day. कुछ तो भी करता रहेगा. He doesn't mind it क्योंकि उसको टेस्ट आता है, ecstasy बोल के कुछ करने का, isn't it? So this Smarana Avastha has a 5 stages. First, what happened? We recollect क्या हो रहा था. Just like every Bhagavatam class, actually 4 or 5 minutes we should have a recollection, revision, recap. Okay, क्या बोला था, how we went, पूरा चार्ट बनाना चाहिए. Then what happens? Dharana means absorption, that particular subject. Dhyana, we meditate on that. Many times when we hear something repeatedly, we actually picturize, don't we? We haven't seen Krishna Katha yet, but still many times we hear, we actually picturize Bakasura, or or how Krishna must be. This is how we meditate. By hearing, it's a mind game. So we can meditate on something which is disastrous to us, or we can meditate on something which is very prosperous for us. That depends on us, how we train our mind to meditate. First of all, we recollect, क्या वो ये क्या था, पिक्चर क्या था, या फिर उसका जो भी, all then we have become absorbed, and then we meditate. Similarly, here we have to do in another way. All the scriptures. This is not a very big science. Like a small girl, she gives Bhagat Sapta so eloquently. Do you need any astrologer to tell that last previous life she was a devotee? She had gone through so many of scriptures deeply. That's why she remembers. She or he, whoever. Okay? She she or he has again started their journey. Okay? That's what we are talking about. Krishna Katha, remembrance of Krishna, is not limited to our gross body. Our gross body may change, but soul never forgets Krishna. The advancement we have done in remembering Krishna, whichever level we are in. Just like Bharat Maharaj, he lost his dear body, but when he got a human body, seriously ये कुछ नहीं काम कर रहा है, पूरा गर्मी हो रहा है. एक बार बंद करके चलो.
इसी मोड में है.
आगे मोड तो ऐसी देख भाई. So the when we are in a dhyana stage, then what happened? Then there is a constant remembrance, anusmriti. Just like we give that example of a boy and girl, young boy and young girl. They come together. They recollect their first meeting. Then they get absorbed in how he likes me. Then they meditate, and then the anusmriti means they are constantly remembering each other. And now then later they become in samadhi. 6 hours they can talk on phone. That is samadhi. What they talk, I don't know. Can you how what will you talk to the person? चलता रहता है because they are in samadhi. This can happen in material relation. Why not with Krishna? Because no human being can give you uh, a bliss, happiness in the relationship than what Krishna. Krishna is Vibhu, Paribhu. We are Amsh. Like if a tree is there, उसको थोड़ा एक दो bucket पानी डालो. And flood comes, what happened? So Krishna is waiting to give love to us, but we don't want it. We are very much absorbed in our material activities. We all are there. So Rupa Goswami is telling us that you come to the acceptance stage, Varana Dasha, at least attachment to hearing. Whenever there is a class, let me hear. Then the stage of ecstasy will come, Smaranavastha. Okay. When Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur was giving class during Vrindavan Yatra, so he used to give long classes. And then one announcement was there. In the evening, you have an option. We have long class now, but we will either go to Adi Keshav Darshan or Prabhupada will give class. Those who like to hear can stay. Very few stayed, and Prabhupada was there to listen to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. He said, that is the Smaranavastha, ecstasy in hearing. And Prabhupada actually admits that many times it couldn't make any sense. So high topic, but I liked hearing. Prabhupada said, in the sense, he was humble enough. He said, so many things were so high. But he said, so much I was in ecstasy to hear from my Guru Maharaj. And this should go on and on. So that is Samadhi. So these are the 5 stages of Smaranavastha. So very important. So at least, just like one who has to win a gold medal in Olympics, suppose. So suppose he's a runner, then he every day checks or weekly checks how much is his progress. Again, doesn't, like 12 सेकंड लग रहे record 8 सेकंड का. So he has to work like. Similarly, we can work on this. Where do we stand on this stage? That is the progress, because we have already left 7th verses means we have already left the other projects. Now only one project is Krishna. So we have to, isn't it? So that this Olympic guy will never think, chalo mera ek paper hai maths ka. Then he will never win Olympics. Leave mathematics and do gold medal. Again, right? Only one goal. Similarly, if we do that, then this is possible. So at first, remembrance of Krishna may be interrupted at intervals, many times, because we are accepted this bhakti process after a long time. Many lifetimes we have not done this. So it will have interruption, but later remembrance proceeds uninterrupted because Krishna will see our eagerness and he will help from within. So we have to see that our progress depends on 99% from Krishna's side. and 1% from our side. But our effort should be 99%. But that Krishna's 1% consent, mercy, is like that 99%. We can't say that I will remember Krishna. Are you getting me? Our efforts, Krishna sees, and then he will release the mercy. So that's why again and again we are coming. That NOI means advancement of a devotee in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of a devotee, sadhaka. How he wants to progress. What is his attitude? So चल रहा है, चलो गाड़ी चलने दो. Then वो वैसे चलेगा. ये सामाम प्रबध्यन्ते ताम सदैव हो जाए. How you Krishna is within everybody's heart. He knows तुम्हारा कितना है, हमारा क्या है. So he reciprocates in that style. So when remembrance is uninterrupted, it becomes concentrated and is called meditation. So that is anusmriti. Of course, that is the highest stage where person becomes Siddha Purush. You know, sort of बोलते हैं ना कुछ, just like our Prithu Maharaj. Later, what he did, he was an emperor, but when he gave everything up and became fully ecstatic, he didn't even bother whether he has any clothes or not. He was in his ecstasy. So when the meditation expands and becomes constant, that is anusmriti. These are technical terms, but we can know these terms by seeing how much condensed his meditation has become. No, at the beginning, intervals. Sometimes we walk, and 4 months we don't walk. Again, our belly comes. So intervals. But then continue if you do for 2 years, the all fats goes. Isn't it? I'll give an example, just to inspire each other. So that is that. So in no interruptions. And then it expands. Again, like that. And by uninterrupted and unceasing anusmriti, one enters the stage of samadhi, spiritual state. Then what happens? Whatever happens to him or the society, anything, he doesn't take action in it. For example, can anybody give example of this? Bhagavatam? Haridas Thakur also you can talk about. But an example is Shaunak Rishi. Shaunak Rishi is in a trance that somebody has put dead snake on his neck and the whole babal ho gaya. I mean, his son has cursed Parikshit Maharaj. Still, he just did his task and then again, he didn't make any issue out of it. He said, just prayed for Krishna, please forgive my son, and I'll give intimation to the king so that he can prepare for his death. And he's steady because he said, this is the world, this will always going on. These things will always keep going on. I cannot stop it. That is samadhi, spiritual trance. So he acts appropriately, whatever is needed. That's it. At that time, soul can perfectly and clearly understand his eternal relationship with Krishna. He knows everything is Krishna's energy working their own way to serve Krishna, and I am also part and parcel of Krishna, and have to serve in this way. That is called Sampatti Dasha, perfection of life. Just like a prisoner, he understands exactly that it is my choice. It is my fault. Because of that, I am in the prison. Otherwise, many times it happens, I was a very good person, but he instigated me, or so many reasons he will give. But when he understands that I am here because of my fault, And I know now how to go there back, what I have to do, and no blame to anybody. That is the perfect civilized person in the prison house, isn't it? Who knows what is what, and he doesn't aggravate his stay there by doing anything there inside. Similarly, a person who understands his eternal relationship with Krishna and does Loka Sangraham Evapi. Loka Sangraham Evapi means he acts in such a way that all gets inspiration to achieve this stage. That means their relationship with Krishna. He does exactly that much only. Otherwise, he has nothing to do. He has no material activity. Yes, yes. The perfected person who's in spiritual trance, he acts. His activity is limited to just inspire others to achieve the position which he has now. Understand your relationship with Krishna. Don't do all these material activities. These are anyway going to perpetually keep you in this material world only. So that is pure devotee's task is some way or other he will bring him to Krishna. Otherwise, he has no activity. He has no taste in material activities. Okay. So we have seen sadhana bhakti and ragana bhakti. So sadhana bhakti and ragana bhakti, I have given you Bala Vivaha example of Prabhupada gave. You know, sadhana bhakti is like the following regulative principles, following 9 process of devotional service, even though we have no taste, but under the awe and reverence or pressure or the love towards Guru Maharaj, scripture, Sanskriti, we follow that doing for our betterment. Keep doing it strictly. Then suddenly, gradually, what the taste develops. And that is the Raganuga Bhakti, where we don't need to tell we don't need anybody to tell, oh, tomorrow mala rahe. You have to go to temple. You are eating non-prasad. So and so forth. You automatically do that. That is Raganuga Bhakti. And then we automatically follow in the footsteps of eternal associates of Krishna. Public, they make hairstyle like a hero and lot. That is following, they become a follower, right? But similarly, in bhakti, people do whatever their Guru Maharaj says. They get attracted. Guru ne kiya to main bhi karu. That is also simple thing, isn't it? So that is 2 types of bhakti. So when he comes to this, Raganu bhakti is done in 5 rasas. So Shanta rasa is what? One aspires to, it is natural. You can't push Shanta to Dasya, Dasya to Sakhyaras. It is a natural ingredient in each and soul. His eternal position. Either it is Shantaras, so he will be like Krishna's fruit, stick or tree, or he will like to have that kind of relation, and he will be having exact ecstasy which somebody in Madhurya will have. I mean, from his point of view, he'll be full happy. Just like somebody will say, "Meko 2 chapati do," I'm done. Somebody say, "Meko 15 chahiye." Sort of. But both are full after 2 and 15. Not here and there. Similarly, our natural position is either in Shanta or Dasyaras, Sakhyaras. Their examples are given, like Ratrak, Raktak, Chitrak, Patrak. They are Dasyaras. Krishna sometimes gives them thrashes also. Because दास्य रहते दास्य को हम लोग बोलेंगे मेरे आ जाओ सर ऐसा बोलेंगे क्या दास्य को लोग but Sakhyaras sometimes fight happens Vatsalya and then Madhurya. So this is what one aspires to be like their followers. So if somebody is Dasyaras, then he wants to take guidance from these people. Dasyaras, Sakhyaras, like that. Just like we have seen Lord Brahma and Uddhava, when they were in Vrindavan, they prayed that let us be the Gulmalata, in the sense a grass, a creeper, so that the gopis, when they would go and trample on our head, we will get their dust of their lotus feet. That is their prayer. That is Vrindavan, where every atom is surcharged with memories of Krishna. Or I mean, there are it is catalyst to bring our remembrance of Krishna. So for that, what we have to do? If we are not physically in Vrindavan, internally we can be. You can have a tour, mind tour in Vrindavan every day, isn't it? चलो गोवर्धन पूजा चालू किया, निकला कुसुम सरोवर से, ठीक है, थोड़ा पानी पिया, नारियल पानी. We can have that, ठीक है, नारद कुंड में गए, सामने गए. You can have, because you have already had that gone through Smarana, ठीक है, Varana Dasha, ecstasy. Then you can do Smarana. You can actually see Govardhan. Okay, इधर है दान घाटी में. चलो अभी जा रहे हैं, अभी रास्ता गया, अभी तो सॉफ्ट डस्ट आ गया, उधर से जा रहे हैं, ठीक है, उधर बंदर आ गए, है कि नहीं? तो ऐसा यू कैन हैव अ एवरीडे माइंड टूर टू वृंदावन everywhere actually. But what is that? We should have that attitude. Then remembrance will come, and that will stay with us longer time. Otherwise, we'll forget that those experiences. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. So this is how our nectar of instruction. This book is over now. Hare Krishna.